Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for today's video because we are diving into the new release from Nomad Cosmetics, and this is the PNW Pacific Northwest palette. The color story is very earthy and beautiful. We're gonna swatch it, we're gonna try it out. We do two different eye looks, which I don't normally do on my channel, but we are going to dive in because I wanna play around, I wanna see, and we are going to discuss. Now you guys, before we jump into it, if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell for notifications, new videos. If you like this video, make sure to hit a big thumbs up. But if you want to see how I got these two eye looks using the new palette from Nomad Cosmetics, just keep watching. Okay, you guys, it feels like I literally just filmed with the last Nomad palette, which is Witch City Salem, and that's because I did. Because I had ordered it, and when it came in, I was already gone on a trip. When I got back, I had some other things that I was needing to do, and I just filmed with that one, but then I received the Pacific Northwest palette from Nomad. They sent this one to me. I usually purchase my palettes from them, and I had reached out to them about possibility of collaborating. They said they're not doing anything right now, but they would be willing to send me this palette, and I'm so stoked for it. I do have a discount code. It's not affiliate. I don't make anything off of it. It's literally just a discount code for you. It is Ashley Lorraine. You can use that on this palette or any others to receive a discount, so check that out if you want to. But I feel like I just filmed with that palette, and then this weekend this arrived on my doorstep, but I was battling a severe sinus infection. So now you might still hear it. I think I hear it. But I couldn't wait any longer. This has literally been burning a hole on my makeup table, and I'm like, ooh, I need to play with it. I want to swatch it. I want to see what it's all about. This weekend was not it. I felt so bad because I really wanted to dive in, and it is already available on their website. But can we appreciate this color story? It is absolutely gorgeous. I'm here for it. So you have the column of blue, you've got the green, and then you've got the browns, and then there's a like foresty green shade in here. Well, actually no. So it's also brown, but it looks like it has like a green under hue to it, whereas Perfect Pinot looks like it has like a reddish hue to it. So I'm excited to dive into this. I'm really excited to swatch these. Now it's funny looking at some of the pressings in here. So you've got Perfect Pinot, which has the wine bottle, the wine glass. You've got the mountains, you've got the coffee, you've got the sunrise, the mountains, you have Sasquatch. It's funny, when I was growing up, because I have a size 10 foot, and I've had that size since I was a teenager. And I had gone to the skating rink, and when I asked him for a size 10 roller skate, he was like, dang Sasquatch, no one wants to hear that. Not a teenage girl. It's funny, I see that and I'm like, memories. Alright you guys, let me dive in and swatch these. I will come back to deliberate. I'm so excited because I've seen so many videos, like little reels, and I'm like, I'm having FOMO right now. I want to play around with it so bad, but I was miserable this weekend, you guys. So we are diving in and we are playing with colors. Okay, you guys, swatches did not disappoint. Now, before we jump into the swatches, let's talk about this palette real quick. So destination is Peaks, Pines, and Coastal Beauty of the Pacific Northwest, which is absolutely on my bucket list. I have never made it to the West Coast of the United States. Haven't made it past Nevada. It's definitely on my bucket list of things to do. Now, so the palette is Earth's Grandeur, like a painting brought to life, the textured canvas palette cover, which this is the second time they've done the canvas palette, which I really enjoy. The other one was the Fuji 5 Lakes, which I also have in my collection. Have not gotten a chance to use it, but I'm excited to play around with it. I think I need to this fall. But looking at this, I love it. It's absolutely gorgeous. Definitely a piece that would be like a display piece. I love artwork. And then even the canvases on the back here. Love this. So it captures soaring peaks, misty forests, and rugged coasts. Inside, spectrum of nature-inspired hues unfold from verdant greens to cascading waterfall blues, 9 flourishing mattes, 3 sparkly shimmers, 4 dazzling duochromes, and 2 majestic multichromes. I love that they break it down because sometimes I'm guessing what type of shade it's supposed to be or formulation. The cause that they're donating to, so proceeds do go towards a organization that they choose. And this one is the Conservation Northwest that works to protect, connect, and restore wildlands and wildlife of the Pacific Northwest. And this time I've got the postcard that goes with it, and it just gives some details on the back. I don't always keep them. I know that most of their palettes I've received postcards with. The last one, which was Which City Salem, I didn't receive one, and it could have just been like a slip up when they shipped it out, because I think that's the only one I've never received a postcard with. But I do like the details because it gives some insight into what they're doing. Now, I'm excited to dive into these swatches because they are lovely. I love this. So it's very earthy, kind of subdued and moody. There's some bright colors, but not anything like super neon. Really the only one that pops out to me that's like bright is Pacific Crest, and it's that limey green, whereas everything else is kind of a subdued, muted down, earthy tone, which I would also relate to like the grungy tones, but that's just me. Now, looking at these shades, so Salmon Run is definitely that champagne shade that I would be able to use for work. And even looking at the shades, because for me, I have to stick with neutrals when it comes to work. And when it comes to a palette, I love that there's a pop of color, but I also like if I can use it for my everyday, especially if I've got a work trip that I've got to use it for. So for me, this palette, I'd definitely be able to use some of the shades for work, especially Salmon Run, which is that champagne shade, very beautiful shimmer. And then even Perfect Pinot, which is that brownish red matte shade. And I could use Foggy Forest for my like crease area. So looking at those, like I'm always looking to see how versatile a palette is and if I can use it for work. So this I think I can, but I could also have a lot of fun in the fall or just moody weekends playing around with this. The greens are gorgeous, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, ooh, I like the two columns where you've got the blues, the greens, and then the browns. And I'm wondering, I'm like, okay, do I do the blues? Do I stay neutral today? Like, there's so many options. I do know that I want to play around with, what shade was it that I was looking at? Is it Coffee Paradise? It's kind of a brown shade with, it looks like it's got an underhue of scarab effect where it shifts between different shades. Those have been very popular, where it's got the brown but then it shifts to green and gold, and I love that. But I also love the shade Sunbreak, which is kind of, it's in the green column, but it's kind of like a sunshine yellow with, it looks like pink and orange shifting hues, as well as Cascadia. Those ones are the shifting ones that I'm really enjoying. But I also like the greens, and I love a beautiful green shadow look. So I'm gonna deliberate over these swatches. I'm gonna prime my eyes and we are going to dive in, but I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, I think I have a way forward, and I'm not going anywhere the rest of the night. So I'm thinking I might do 2 looks to maximize this video and utilize this palette. I don't know what I want to do for the second look, but I do know what I want to do for the first one. And we're going to pick a color for mattes from each column. All right, we're going to start in Towering Sea Stacks. And the first eye we're going to do is this one. I've never done this. Have I done this before? If I have, it's been a while. But this weekend I planned on filming, and I felt horrible. All right, so we're going into Towering Sea Stacks on my fluffy crease brush. We're going to pick it up and put it into the crease. But you guys, it's that time of year. I annually get a sinus infection, and the weather has just been kind of icky and gross. And this weekend, it just kicked my butt. I really like that shade. It's kind of like a seafoam green, kind of. It is really pretty. That's gorgeous. Now, I was looking at the green column, and I was like, ooh, we're not doing lime green. That's a little bright for this. And then I was looking at Olympic Mountains, and I'm like, ooh, it's kind of bright. So I think we're going to go a little bit grungy. We're going to go into the shade PNW. This one I'm going to pick up on my fluffy crease brush just to start out and place it, and then we will build it up a little bit. So we're going to bring this in a little bit more to center. I hope these look well together. I mean, there's a reason that they're built in the columns that they are. But I also feel like they'll blend well with the rest of the palette. Okay, yeah. I like how that's merging together. I am going in ever so slightly. There is some kick up in the pan, which I don't mind, but I also know that I'm not going to dig into the pan so hard that it's going to kick up too much that I can't get it under control on my brush. Okay, I am going to switch over to my compacted smudge brush. I need to clean my brushes, you guys. I meant to do it this weekend, but I hibernated on the couch with Dixon. Like, everything I had planned this weekend didn't happen. I was supposed to go dress shopping with Jamie because we have Marine Corps ball when I get back from Paris. I already found my dress. She has not, so I was going to go with her, and I didn't even leave the house. I had medications delivered from Walmart to my house because I felt like crap. Okay, I like how it's blending together. We will build this shade up afterwards. I usually leave that to the end. And now into the shade Sasquatch Sighting. We're gonna go in on our pencil brush. This one we're just gonna go in on the lash line. So I'm gonna place it before I blend it. This is my favorite trick, to just kind of define the outer corner, but not make it such a harsh, smoky edge. I say harsh, smoky's not harsh. To not make it so blown out. I want it a little bit more precise, which is why I use my pencil brush. Words are not my friends today, you guys. So I just ever so slightly pick up some color and build it up and wiggle it in there. And all the different shades of green. Okay. I might even build this green up a little bit more after I do my base products, just trying to get an idea of what I want to do. Now into the shade Coffee Paradise. This one I'm going to pick up on my middle finger and place in the center. This is that one that kind of has like a muted scarab effect because it does look like it's silver, but then it also has some like blue and green hues in it. So we're going to place that right here. And see, it looks like it's picking up the green. So even though in the pan it's got like brownish, greenish hues, it's definitely picking up some of that green. I like that. Now, I was also looking at the blue shades and I was like, ooh, in that brown column, there's Mountains Are Out, but then there's also Crater Lake, which is in the blue column. And I'm like, ooh, do I want the lighter blue or the darker blue? And I think I want to go to the lighter blue. Going into the shade Mountains Are Out. This one I'm going to pick up on my ring finger. I'm going to go back and forth and marry them. So I have the blue in the inner corner. I'm going to pick up on my silicone spatula and place it right here in the corner. Just kind of smooth it out and bring it through the crease. Okay, I don't know if it's really like giving the full effect on camera, but I know I'm going to deepen this up when we do all that at the end. Okay, so now that we've got this one kind of done, and we'll finish it off when I do the rest of my makeup. And I am still going to do this eye a different set of shades. But I just got a text message asking me to go to dinner tonight. So I'm like, ooh, what can I do that they'll look similar? And I think I'm going to go with the blues. Because we did use a lot of greens on this one, I want to stay true to the blue shades. Now, the only difference is because I already used Towering Sea Stacks, I think I'm going to use this tan shade right here. So going into Foggy Forest. You guys, just in case, I'm not pointing with this one because I actually hurt myself really bad, but it took off the point of my finger. It hurts. But that's why I've been tapping with this finger instead. I don't have an appointment until Friday to get my nails fixed. And I've just been sucking it up. Alright, so we're going into Foggy Forest with my fluffy crease brush. We're going to put this into the crease in the outer V. So this still has like greenish hues to it, but it's not as like minty green as the other one. I'm so used to turning to this side because this is always the eye that I do my makeup on. This is the one we're on. Okay, now into the shade Columbia River Gorge. This one is really pretty. I almost said gorgeous and I was like, I just said gorge. My mental internal thoughts. All right, still in the fluffy crease brush, but we're gonna place it a little bit further into the center. I really like how this is blending out. Really beautiful. And then into Leaping Orcas. And I didn't notice that pressing to begin with, but it is an orca whale and it is adorable. Granted, orca whales can be dangerous. They can be. All right, so this one I'm going to place in the center. So kind of how we actually, I'm going to go back. We're going to use the pencil brush. So placing it right here along the lash line and blending it out. All right, there's no product on my fluffy or my compacted smudge brush. So I'm just going to finesse this outer corner. So cute. I could hear her. She's like giving herself a bath right now. Dixon, she's not in her tower. I've got her over here in the corner. I now have a new shoe rack here instead of all the shoe boxes I had. It was atrocious. She's hanging out by the little shoe rack and he's over here by her tower. It's so funny. They've been getting along so much better. Okay, that's where we are for right now. We will finesse it. There's still some shimmer shades. And I was looking at them and I'm like, ooh, do I want to use Crater Lake or Canyon Beach? So Crater Lake is blue. Canyon Beach is a little bit more like tealy green, seafoamy green. I was like, ooh, which one do I want to do? Part of me kind of wants to use like this green, but I do like this blue shade. But I used that blue, the lighter blue right here. You know what? We're going to use Crater Lake. And what's funny is I told Jamie when she texted me about dinner tonight, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to have to like meld them together. Part of me is just kind of like go out with two different eyes and who cares? What are they going to do? Compliment me on my eyes? I've done weirder things. We're going to go into Crater Lake. We're going to place this right here in the center because I do want to use the shade Cascadia. That shade is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And into the shade Cascadia, we're going to pick this one up on the ring finger. Ooh, look how gorgeous that is. And right here in the inner corner. Ooh, that is gorge. So just finessing with my silicone spatula. But I still have some blue on my finger, so I'm just kind of marrying them together. Really pretty. I mean, they're similar. So we've got blue on this side, we've got green on this side, but we still use that deeper, darker green. I like it. I really do. Let me go do some base products. I'll be back because we're going to finish off both of these looks. Okay, you guys, now that the base products are done, we need to dive in and finish off both eyes. And I already told Jamie, I was like, I'm just gonna show up like this. I sent her a picture. I was like, there's not much different. She's like, one's a little bit more teal and then the other one's like more foresty green. And I was like, there's not much different. So we're gonna finish these off. Now, this eye, because we used this shade right here, we're going to dive back into Towering Sea Stacks. And we're going to place it the entire length underneath the eye. And then I'm also going to use my fluffy crease brush to put it back into place above PNW. All right, so it is a really pretty shade. I always see videos from the Pacific Northwest, Oregon, Washington State. Like, there's so many beautiful places up there. And I was like, oh, I want to go so bad. But then I also remember it's very rainy up there, which is why I've never chosen orders to Washington State. But I would love to travel and visit. And then, of course, if you go further up and into, it's up into Canada on that side of the world. I like to snowboard. And they have, Whistler? And they did a palette, Whistler, British Columbia. So, is it British Columbia? Hold on. It is. It is Whistler, British Columbia. I was like, wait, that doesn't sound right. It's okay. All right, so that's where we are with that. I think that looks really pretty. Back into the fluffy crease brush. We're just gonna place it on the outer edge. A little bit more intense, which is fine because when I go and add in the other shades, it's going to subdue it out a little bit. I want some of that shade to peek through. Beautiful. Now into the shade PNW. This one I'm just going to tap a little bit. I don't need a ton because I do like the minty green. And then I'm going to use my larger compacted smudge brush to place it right here on the outer edge. We've got like a smattering of green tones going on. I'm here for it though. And then into Sasquatch sighting. This one on my pencil brush right here in the lash line. Like, all the varying shades of green may not be everyone's cup of tea, but I feel like this is a lot of fun. And I like how Sasquatch sighting adds a different variation with the greenish brownish hue. Like, even though it's supposed to be a brown, it's bringing in different shades of green. Okay. Now, we've got to finish off this eye. And this one we used all the blue hues. So going into Columbia River Gorge. This one is going to be on my little tiny compacted smudge brush. We're going to do the entire under length and then also back into the crease area. They're similar. So this has more blue, this has green, obviously. But they're very similar. And now into Leaping Orcas. This one still on the tiny compacted smudge brush. Just popping that in there. I did forget to go on the fluffy crease brush into Columbia River Gorge for the crease area. It's fine, we'll fix that right now. I don't need it too bright. So this one's actually a little bit lighter when you're looking at the hues of it compared to the brightness of the blues. And then switching over to my pencil brush into Leaping Orcas. Just right here. And using my compacted smudge brush, I'm going to ever so slightly pick up some of the Leaping Orcas and just right here. Okay, yep, that helped blur it out a little bit. Okay, you guys, I did use my Natasha Denona highlighter for the cheeks. So I'm going to do that in the inner corner and the brow bone real quick. And I've just been going between these two shades right here to kind of mix them up. Okay, you guys, I need to do brows, liner, mascara, and lips, and I will be back with the final look. Okay, you guys, I am back, and this is the final look. I really like how the eyes turned out, and usually I only have one color story on my eyes, but this is a lot of fun. So, still technically like greenish tones. This was technically the blue shades, but it's still leaning a little bit more like teal and bright and kind of bubbly, kind of. Maybe. Whereas this one is a little bit more green and earthy, a little bit more green. It is green. It's a little bit more earthy than the tealish blue shades. I love how my eyes have turned out. That brown shade, what was it, Sasquatch sighting? This one right here definitely played tricks on me. I'm thinking it's going to add in some more of the brown hues, but it actually, looking at it, it added more of like a tealish emerald green instead of any brown hues at all. So I'm intrigued to see when I do play around with the neutral shades, does it adapt to the brown tones, or like did it pick up the green tones and that's how it got into like this emeraldish green shade? It's weird because I've never had a brown not deposit as brown. If you have this palette, if you have this color story, I want to know your thoughts. Let me know. Have you played around with the color story and some of the shades even when you swatch them? Because when I swatched Sasquatch sighting, it was brown. So I'm wondering, am I the only one? Like, I can't be. If you've used that shade and it's kind of adapted to the undertones of other shades, I want to know. Like, what did they put in these shades? Like, what's going on here? I do like how my eyes turned out. I love that you got a little bit more earthy and grungy, and then you got a little bit more like a little more bright. So you can have a lot of fun with this palette and this color story. I'm excited to try out the rest of the shades, see what else I can come up with. I definitely know that I'm going to be pulling my fall favorites, and this is probably going to be in there. I do love the shades that are in here. The earthy tones, like definitely reaching for my heart this fall, and I'm excited to see what I can come up with. Let me know your thoughts. Did you pick up the palette? Did you pass on it? Put it in the comments. Let's have that conversation. I'm excited to know your thoughts. But you guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell for notifications of new videos. And if you like this video, make sure to hit a big thumbs up. Until my next video, you guys, bye. I'll see you in the next one.